about 145 and having a nice climb rate. Might be a little steep. We're slowing down a bit. I'm going to give a little bit of a... Well, this might be a good opportunity for us to pull up the C1 autopilot. There's our C1. We'll turn on the master switch and aileron, rudder, and elevator control. Now this is a very sloppy way of starting this autopilot. You really want to make sure the aircraft is trimmed out properly. I'm now telling it to raise the nose, and it is going to do the rest. It has a electrical motor control. These lights blink when a control surface is not where the autopilot wants it to be. If the aircraft was properly trimmed out when I started the autopilot, all of these lights wouldn't have been blinking. And the autopilot is also electronically controlled. There you go. That's why the electrics are very important. We seem to be, well, we were doing a nice fast climb, which is fine. By the way, we still have our APU on. We'll just tell our waist gunner to turn that off.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's going to go in the back now to turn that off. We can tell our guys to go into the turrets. Here we go, gun turrets.
Yes, Captain.
I heard that was your engineer. That's a great view of the crew. There's the engineer in the top turret, pilot and co-pilot, navigator reading his maps, and the bombardier in the front. We have the views set up like a walk-around. Taking a close look at the engines, you can see the co-pilot is doing a good job managing the cowl flaps for us. And waist gunner, tail gunner back there, and there you go. That was the bombardier making a comment on the weather. Okay, we'll continue coming around to the front. Okay, I want to show you something here. First of all, gauges are never exact. It's nothing to get panicky about, it's just the way it is. Okay, our oil pressure is okay, oil temperature is fine, fuel pressure and manifold pressure, we're pulling roughly 38 inches. Okay, these engines are now sucking the air through filters, which are hopefully clean. As we get higher in altitude, it's important that we turn our air filters off and go to ram air. Now when we turn these filters off, the ram air doors are going to open and these amber lights will become green, which means we'll be pulling in ram air right from those intakes in the leading edge of the wing. That's the ram air induction. But right now the filters are on, which means the air is being pulled from inside the wing. Now that's important because the exhaust is also coming from inside the wing. Here you go. See those little vents on the top? Those are venting out the exhaust. So the air inside the wing is dry and it's warmer. Okay, so now we're going to start taking this colder ram air instead of the warmer filtered air from inside of the wing. Now let's go into the cockpit where we can see all the stuff happening. Okay, so what I've done is take this carburetor air temperature gauge and blow it up so you can see it. I'm showing 28 and 24 degrees. Right, now we're switching to ram air. The doors are now slowly closing and slowly taking in the ram air from the front of the wing. We've already lost 3 degrees. Now watch the lights. Over here, they'll turn green when we're on complete ram air. All right, number 4, 3 and 2 are ram, and 1. Okay. Okay, in this situation, I'm showing that ram air is lowering my carb air temperature by about 5 degrees, as opposed to taking that hot, dry, filtered air from inside the wing. Okay, now let me show you something else. Take a close look at our manifold pressure gauges. We are seeing a difference in our manifold pressures because our turbos have not been calibrated. Typically, you will do this once after you get a newly rebuilt engine or turbocharger, and you would perform this calibration on the runway. we didn't. So I'm going to do something you're not supposed to do, and I'm going to calibrate the turbos in flight. Okay? Now this is what we have here. This is our manifold pressure selector. These are turbo trim pots. Little screws in there, and you turn them to the right, and increases the power to that particular turbo. You're basically calibrating and trimming your turbo. So you're supposed to tune the turbos at 8 at full power. And since we're moving along pretty well, our cylinder head temperatures are okay, we should be all right. But we have to do this quick. So I am going to give us full turbo power, and I'm going to trim the pods, and we're going to make all of these manifold pressure readings be exactly 46, because that's what it's supposed to be with the ram air. All right, here we go. Okay, now watch. All right, so we see our number 1 engine's a little high. I'm going to pull this thing back here. I'm just putting my mouse over the trim pot and moving my wheel. Our number 4 engine's a little bit low. Giving it a little bit more. And 3, 1 click. I'm going to back these off both 2 clicks of my mouse. There you go. Now those are pretty good. Okay, so anyway, we're going to pull this back. We don't want to be running at this full power for too long. Let's pull it back to 6. There we go. That's sort of a maximum for flying. All right.